In this video, let's take a look at the Direct Edit Move tool in ZW3D. A lot of times we'll get models from another CAD package, or they're just exported as a step or an IGES, and they're just dumb solids. So they have no history. We don't really have a way to edit them, or do we? Well, we do, because we have the Direct Edit menu, and we can manipulate these in many ways. And in its basic form, if you just select a face, dynamic move, say I needed to add 3 inches to that. Let's just say that I needed to also add 3 inches here. So now we've added 3 inches to our part. And if we go back into the Direct Edit Move tool, you can see that we have some different features here. So for one thing, we have a move point to point. So if we select these two faces, now one thing you want to be careful of is wherever your manipulator is at. It can make a difference. In this case, it probably won't, but just be aware of that. So if I select that point, I can now move this cutout hole wherever I want. Now you might say, well, how do you know where you're going to put it at? What if you have an exact location? Well, let's say that from this corner up here, we needed it to be 1 inch in and 1 inch down. If we select this little drop down arrow over here, then we have an offset tool that we can use. So now we can do exactly that. So we can go in here, we can set this to the exact size or area that we need it to be. And then once we do that, we say okay. And now you can see it has moved the hole up there. Another thing that can be done is you can move things along a direction. So for instance, if I grab both of these and I say that I want to move them in this direction and I need to move them a half of an inch, I can do that. Another thing that you can do with it is you have a rotate entities around a direction. So if we select that, and then we select the faces of this little peg sticking up over here, we can select the direction. And let's say that we want to rotate it around here. Now you can see that if we needed to, say 45 degrees around there, we can do that. I can't stress enough how powerful these tools can be. A lot of people overlook them. So now we have something that is, you're going to move an object or faces by aligning their frames. So if we select that same cube, right now it's located on this plane. But what we can do is we can move it to a completely different plane. Just like that. And then you have a move along path. So in order to use the move along path, you have to have a path to begin with. So if we come in here and we draw on this face, and you can do this by a sketch, which I'll show first. Like that. Or you can also go to the wireframe menu and you can do the same thing. So now the use case for this is pretty unique. I don't know how many people will actually be using it for this, but I'll show it anyway. So we select our faces, then we select a path, and you can see that now we can move this along that path, anywhere along that path. And you can even do things like use that right click and you can say along, you can select the path, you can say 50%, 25%, and it will move it 25% of the length of that spline. That's pretty much it for the Direct Edit Move tool. I will be covering a few other things using this tool later, but for right now, thanks for watching, and if this helped you, please hit the like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.